You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
3 boxes back. I'm Clint. This is Sarah. She is back again. And I got to start the podcast off with some bad news. Sarah, I did some research for you, and Jorge Soler is, in fact, a taken man. So
This is heartbreaking. This is devastating. Truly.
It's devastating.
It really is.
Hey, this is for all of us, to be honest.
Well, look,
Just
we're gonna.
I mean, he hit that ball, and just you feel feelings. Just you start to feel feelings.
And also, money is money, boys. Like,
It's
not
money.
hurting. Yeah.
Money talks. Money talks.
Can't hide money either,
Yeah.
y'all.
This is going off the rails in record time. I mean, record
Well, I
time.
mean, he really started. He really wanted to start back on that. He's going to get me talking to Jorge.
Really-
That's on me. That's on me, guys. My bad. Look, my job is to usually bring us back to it. Usually, just smack us. I did it. It's Friday.
My new
No.
Sarah will be taking over the podcast beginning on Monday. Clint's out and Sarah's in, so we'll just working.
Look, last Friday you got me all in my feels, and this Friday I'm already there. We're gonna go back. This is Locked On Bulldogs here on Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And this episode is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. We are fans, if you couldn't tell, both of UGA football and of Los Bravos, who are World Series champions, and Jorge Soler, who all he does is hit home runs. Facts. It's science. We are not gurus or insiders by any stretch of the imagination. We're fans, first and foremost.
That's right. That's what the podcast is about. It's for fans, by fans. And we're glad that you're here. If you are a Georgia fan or a rogue Missouri fan and you've wandered in because it's cold and dark outside and you just needed a place to hang out,
They were lured behind some sort of paywall.
we're glad that you're here. There's no paywall here, so everything is fine. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the audio podcast. Leave us a rating and review on the audio side, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcast. And then head on over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, 1,000 subscribers by the SEC Championship game. It's going to happen.
Get there, people.
So
Let's do
get on
it.
over there and do that. Leave us a comment and a thumbs up and all that good stuff as well. Okay. Sarah, who, if you're not following, at SarahG1561 on Twitter, she is insightful and hilarious at the same time. And I know you were at the cocktail party
I was.
this
It was
past
great.
weekend. And
It's
so
fantastic.
this episode's all about Missouri, but do you have any just ever so brief Florida takeaways? Because it's never too late to talk about a beatdown in Jacksonville.
Sure. I will not impede too much on our very important Missouri discussion, but I will say it was great. It was fantastic. The best part was, of course, the best 2.5 minutes of Georgia turnovers there. And really this Florida side, to give you a real beat writer, boots on the ground perspective, the Florida side was like probably maybe 3/4 of the way full by the end of the second, emptied out for the half, sides or empty out for the half, but then they just really didn't come back. So they just really kind of it was like halfway full after the second quarter. They saw the writing on the wall and they just didn't come back, which is, of course, I was right in the end zone in the dividing line. So like 2 people away from me was Florida. So I probably said some things I shouldn't. So if you were in that section, 148, I got right with the Lord. Everything's fine.
She
But it was very
apologizes for nothing. She apologizes for nothing. Let's
Right.
make it
Exactly.
As PR representation for the pro bono lawyer, let us just say she doesn't care. You take your sorries and you stuff them in a sack, mister.
Very
That's
true.
correct.
Very true.
All right, let's get on to Missouri. Excited about, nervous about, don't sleep on. That's what we like to do on Fridays. And so let's start about what we're excited about concerning this game. And Sarah, Clint, who wants to go first? Clint, I'll give the honors to you. since after by the time you say what you're going to say, we'll probably have to like spend an hour cleaning it up, like editing it out and figuring out like sorting through it. So Clint, you go first.
Do you do marriage counseling as well, Sarah?
Yeah, right. No, definitely not. Okay. There's a lot of people, but I am not suited for that. That's for sure.
Okay. Because Daniel and I are going to have a little look, here's what I'm excited about. I'm excited. We've talked about this defense having elite top crust, and we've talked about levels 1, 2, and 3 all the way down. But I'm excited for guys that have been just chopping for years and years. I'm talking Beal. I'm talking even Quay Walker. I know he's gotten run this year. I'm not saying he hasn't gotten run, but he's going to get more extended run this game. I'm excited to see. Look, maybe a little Chaz comes on out there at outside backer. Like, get these extended guys more to see how not only this year is elite, but guys, the defense doesn't stop. Like, there's no talent drop off, and I'm excited to see that depth. We have top crust, we have middle crust, we have all the crust, and so I'm excited to see them get out there and run like their hair's on fire a little bit more.
I definitely agree with that. I think that we're blessed with depth, and so that's going to be fun to kind of I'm excited because Missouri's defense is not good, and so their scoring defense is averaging 36 points a game, and so I'm excited we're going to be at home. It's a noon game. They don't have a very good defense. They're just trying to get in and out literally alive, and I'm excited for what our offense is going to do. I'm kind of thinking this could be a game. Maybe this is just me being optimist, but this could be a game where we truly could play around with some stuff, try some stuff, maybe, see some things, because we have a bad defense. We're not concerned about our defense Missouri has a bad defense. We're not concerned with our defense against their offense. So maybe we take a few more riskier things where we're not just trying to control the clock. And see some funner stuff out of our offense. In the same way that we've seen depth our defense, maybe now that we've got some guys back, see some depth our offense, which I think will be very fun to watch if that happens, which I think it might. So, hopefully.
Yeah, this definitely, I think, has all the makings of some deep balls being thrown down the field. And as you mentioned, maybe Kirby opens it up. Todd Monken opens it up a little bit. I'm going to go more of a big picture, and I was going to mention this yesterday, but I decided to hold it till today. I'm going to take you back to Tuesday's Kirby Smart Media availability to talk about what I'm excited about. And when you've watched as many Kirby Smart Media availabilities as the three of us have, then you just start to glean some things over time. Whereas if you just watch one or two, you might hear things and not really. But did it stand out to anyone else? Patterns. Did it stand out to anyone else how when Kirby was asked, Florida game, big emotional game, coming back, got the Missouri game on deck. How's practice been these last couple of days? Did you hear what he said?
He said last two were what? What was the word that he used for the last two practices?
He said, "I've been very pleased with the last two practices. They've been very good." I'm sorry,
spirited.
You've been very pleased? Is that what you're
never?
This is how screwed up it is to be. Which we've broken the curse. But I'm getting over it. But to be a Georgia sports fan, this is how stupid it is. When I hear something like that, anything out of the normal, I'm like, what does that mean? Is that reverse psychology? Does it mean we're not good? No. Does it mean he's preparing us for, I'm like, I can't even be happy about that. Like, I'm like, why?
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Sarah, just get comfortable. Let me just tell you what it means. What it means is we're very good. We're very, very good. And even Kirby Smart has to at some point just look around him and go, dang, these guys are, this team's really good. Like that. I think there's we've been saying it all year. There's something different about this team, and I don't think anything has, to me, encapsulated it more than that. On a Missouri week, coming off of a Florida win, Monday and Tuesday practices, Kirby Smart said he's very pleased with them. Listen, I think we're going to boat race Missouri on Saturday, but more so than that, this team does not have a letdown in them. I've never been more confident about anything in the world. Now, might Alabama give us a good game, and might we lose that game? Might we lose in the playoff? Of course, we could lose to teams. I'm not saying that we are unbeatable, but listen, Missouri, Tennessee, Charleston Southern, Georgia Tech, those teams ain't beating us. Like, it's not – this team doesn't have a letdown in there. And so that makes me very excited, not only for this weekend, but for weekends to come. And also, I'm excited that Blooper's going to be in the stadium.
I know. That's exciting.
And Rick is going to be in the stadium, which if we could somehow get Blooper and Mark Rick together, and Sarah's parents.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all big names.
Exactly. Everyone's coming. So what you were saying about a letdown game, actually, I was watching, and I apologize, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was on Twitter, and I think it's almost like a SEC mic'd up, like it's more than, I think it was on the SEC Network. Basically, it was up from the Florida game. I'm going to try to find the whole episode or the whole show, but they're basically getting guys on the sideline. It's clearly more than just like the broadcast, and this is kind of going around Twitter, so some people might have seen it, but the Kobe Dean, after we gave up 7 to Florida, did you guys see that clip? He was like pissed. He was like really pissed. We gave up the 7. And and I know that they've been like that, but it was like kind of like he's really talking about it. He's talking about how our side was still there. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, and this is what I just tweeted. I was like, this is why this team is so good. There's like no good enough mentality, no letdown game energy. Sure, we can get beat, like try to beat us. You're fighting for every inch to get there. It's not going to be one of those where just like all of a sudden we look up and the wheels have fallen off. I don't think, if something's going to happen like that, where it gets competitive, it's going to be, I do think Alabama, I do think Ohio State, like, I think we absolutely can beat those teams. But I'm just saying, like, I don't see exactly what you're talking about. It's a noon. We're tired. We went to Florida. We don't care. It's Missouri. It's home. It's just, these guys just want to rip like everybody's head off every play, So
yeah, there's no more nickel state in this team. There's no more, barely winning, pull it out.
Yeah.
Those games are behind us, y'all. Like, get the hope
to watch. Just speaking of, if you'd like to watch games like that, if those games interest you,
okay,
the basketball team tips off tonight. And so there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to watch games like that. If that's the kind of thing you're into. I'm just saying, I'm giving it as an option for the people, Clint.
Look, I'm just telling you right now,
sort of thing.
Let me take you a sneak peek into pre-production. We are literally going to have fights, verbal altercations with how much we talk about UGA basketball will be had between Daniel and I. I kid you not.
Can I make a quick, I always make a plug whenever I can, quick suggestion. Men's basketball, if you're like, I can't do it, throw it over to see our girl Joni Taylor and the girls. They made it to the SEC championship. And I say, some people don't like women's basketball, but I'm saying, I just give it, hey, they made it to the SEC championship. It's better than what the boys are doing right now. So that's also a suggestion.
Or
I'm inviting everyone.
Most ever.
Yeah.
That's right.
I hear our tennis squad has the number 1 recruit in the nation coming in. I'd be happy to talk about them. Hey, we're going to come back after this once we let you know about McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. It is not just a place that's been around for many, many decades, being a community absolute beacon. It's a place where classmates can come meet up for study group, knowing they have dependable Wi-Fi, endless fry, and McFlurry option. It's not a place you can just come after a football game, after a home team or an away team wins. It's a place that you come for good food, reliable prices, and a place that's quick and easy and just gets you what you want. Your gut is satisfied. Daniel and I, and I'm sure Sarah lives in America. She's gone on a road trip. She's been to those Golden Arches at some point in her life. They're getting this vegan thing going on. I know veganism, like, not a big thing for people. It's plant-based burger coming in McDonald's. Look, times are changing. Get in there right now. Birthday parties. Somebody that works at McDonald's that needs to see you as you come in after a sporting event, connecting to Wi-Fi to get work done, road trips that you take. Head over to McDonald's and refuel and reconnect. Did somebody say Locked On Bulldogs watch party? I'm loving it.
All right. Sarah, this is the more difficult part of the podcast, so this segment will probably be shorter than the previous segment. What are we nervous about? What are we nervous about when it comes to this game? I let Clint go first last time, so we're going to give you the honors off the tee.
Sure. So, okay, if you ask like you said, this one is not the one where I'm thinking a lot of things that I'm nervous about. So if you gave me an honest opinion, of course, it would be like someone just getting a needless injury or something where we're like, it's a college kid being a college kid. Sorry that I just spoke that into the...
That's not a thing. The Locked On Bulldogs podcast would like to, for the record, state that the opinions of our guests, the stated opinions of our guests, in no way reflect.
Yes, or McDonald's.
Yes. No. McDonald's would like you to know that in no way do we believe that a needless injury could occur in this game. Sorry, we just had to get that legal out. I had somebody in my ear.
Good call. Good catch. Uh-huh. So outside of that, what's the spread I last saw? I'm sorry, I was a little bit Braves lost, but last time I saw it was 38.5. Is it 39?
38.5. Yeah, 38.5. It's several points. It's many points.
I mean, I guess maybe here's something I've been given advice every week that we cover. So I have to keep that going because then, now it's a thing. And so maybe I'm nervous that we don't cover. Maybe I'm nervous that listen, guys, I'm really trying to come up with things that I'm nervous about for this game.
Look, we hear you.
It's tough.
Here's what I'm nervous about. Here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to tell you what I'm nervous about because it's going to happen. And the thing I'm most nervous about, I'll give you the punchline. The thing I'm most nervous about is I'm going to go on a unfollow and Twitter hate train on all y'all when this thing takes place. I'm telling you it's going to take place. So I'm nervous that I'm going to follow through. JT is going to get in this game.
I knew this was coming.
Okay. Mm-hmm. JT is going to be
How's he going to do? How's he going to do?
Just fine. Yeah. Guess
Sure.
who's also going to play in this game? Stetson Bennett.
The starting quarterback for Georgia?
That's the one. And he's going to be just fine. So then what's going to happen is the QB conversation is going to come back up, and I'm not going to be able to control myself, and I will do deep dives in some dark side of the internet and find out where all y'all live, and I'll be at your house like throwing things at you. Please don't get on Twitter and talk about a QB controversy after this.
Let the record show that the opinions of the co-hosts of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast do not necessarily reflect that of the guests of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. And so just feels like it needs to be said in Sarah's defense. She's not trying to stalk you and figure out where you live.
No, trust me, I don't do that on Twitter. Also, don't do that in reverse. Thank you.
Okay, good.
I
was going to say
just a little public service announcement from her to you. So maybe just
hypothetically, don't do that.
Just in case you were that guy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you there. I'm very tired of it. But I did have an epiphany the other day, and maybe it was while I was watching the Braves get closer to a World Series win. I was like, this is what it's like, right? Like, this is what it's like to be one of those teams where every week somebody dumb people with a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. We just have to have something to talk about. And I'm like, you know what? Other teams, we had plenty of stuff to talk about. We had 2019 South Carolina games to talk about. We had, maybe we'll learn how to run it this week or whatever. And so I did have an epiphany that I was like, I'm going to take it because I'm with you all the way. I'm so tired of it. And part of it is I'm tired of it. I do want it to be in my mind settled. It very well settled over there on Lumpkin Street. They've probably already got it figured out. But in my mind, I just want to know what's happening. But also, you said, you know what? I've decided it's a blessing in disguise because I think it's really all we have to focus on right now, which is a good thing. But I'm with you. I really just, and also, you know what, guys? Kirby doesn't look on Twitter to decide who he's going to start. I know that that's really just really upsetting, but he does not.
To be just a quick follow-up question, Sarah. Do other coaches in the SEC East look on Twitter to decide who they're going to start?
I don't know. I hope that Dan Mullen is reading my Twitter though, because it's not been very kind to him. So I do hope
Look,
he checks
he
my Twitter.
does T's and P's to his mental health. But yeah, Kirby, to your point, this is who we have. This is what we have to do because we're that team. We are the team where you just have to make something up to be nervous about because there's nothing to be nervous about in this game. So yeah, I'm nervous that Georgia is maybe not going to cover, but I'm not going to bet on them to cover, so I don't really need them to cover. Maybe things get weird and Missouri scores more than 13 points. I mean, it's not like it's unheard of that could happen. Missouri could absolutely score more than 13 points. And wouldn't that bruise our little peach of an ego so much that we only beat them 42-17? Like, wouldn't that just be the worst thing that's ever happened to our program? So
I will say in the last 3 games that they've faced us, they've averaged 14 points a game. So
yeah, are these defenses? Is this defense better or worse than those defenses? Sarah, remind me. It's hard to remember.
I'm gonna go with better, and that's the kind of analysis that you can expect from me consistently.
Wow. She's a regular guest on the pod.
Yeah,
that was a black bear brown bear situation right there. I love it. All right, we're gonna come back.
Yeah, we're talking about what you should not sleep on, things that maybe you're not thinking about this game, things maybe flying under the radar in terms of the way Georgia's going to perform in this game. But first, I want to tell you about BetOnline.ag. They are your online sportsbook experts. They're the place to go to place every wager. If you want to go back and listen to yesterday's Locks episode, you can do so. If you want to know what to bet on, Clint and I are having a fantastic run of betting this season. And so jump on board, listen or watch the Locks episode, and go to BetOnline.ag. Create an account, make a deposit, enter the promo code LOCKEDON, and you get a 50% bonus on your initial deposit. That's free money with which to bet. Are 2022 World Series futures out yet? Because
they are actually.
Give me a number. Give me a number because y'all, we re-signing that man, and then Ronald Acuna coming back. Act like that's not going to be the best 1 through 9 in baseball, and then you throw that young pitching staff on top of it. Morton's coming back for another year. Listen, give me that BetOnline.ag, Atlanta Braves future World Series. Go there right now. Enter the promo code LOCKEDON to get free money at BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.
But that's not all. We have Built Bar. Many of you know that you've been longtime listeners. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. How do we know? We've tried them. We've tasted them. They're delicious. They are high in protein. They are high in fiber, low in sugar. They are keto approved. They are good for on the go. They are good for pre-workout, post-workout, whatever you need to do. I heard somebody disparage the Built Bar the other day, trying to tell me that it was like some sort of like I don't know, non-bro dude power bar. They're like, well, it's not really like powerlifting. I was like, shut up, dude.
That was supposed to be an insult?
That's what I mean. Like, bro dude with the spaghetti straps, And like, I was like, I know who you are right now. Get out of here. Built Bar is tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. We love them. They have an amazing assortment of flavors. Right now, you can get over there, put LOCKEDON15 in the promo code. You're going to get 15% off your entire order. That's LOCKEDON15 at BuiltBar.com for 15% off your entire order. Okay, don't sleep on Daniel. We've been taking some time for you. I'm going to kick it to you first, and then to Sarah second.
Okay.
What should we not sleep on?
Scoop and score. Last week we hit you with the don't sleep on the pick 6, and there was a pick 6. This week I'm hitting you with the don't sleep on the old fashioned scoop and score. We're talking about Adam Anderson. I'm gonna lay the whole thing out for you. You ready? I'm talking about Adam Anderson, strip sack. Wait for it. Devontae Wyatt, scoop and score.
Oh my!
That's what I'm hitting you with right there. Okay, so you come with the details if you're going to come with a don't sleep on. Don't sleep on the Adam Anderson, Devontae Wyatt, strip sack, scoop and score. Big 95, getting himself a touchdown. In all honesty, I don't know if we'll get a special teams touchdown in this game, but we will score a non-offensive touchdown in this game, whether it is on special teams or on defense. Points will be scored by a unit other than our offense and our kicking game. There will be points scored by a unit other than those, and so my money's on the scoop and score. Adam Anderson, Devontae Wyatt.
Y'all not talking about Devontae Wyatt enough. And by y'all, I mean whoever is listening to this, including Daniel, Sarah, and me. Like, everyone. We are not talking about him.
Devontae Wyatt enough. Yeah.
We need to talk about him more. Sarah, what should we not sleep on for this game?
Really quick comment about when you're saying with the Devontae Wyatt thing. I feel like that so many times on our defense, like you were saying, like I'll remember someone and I'm like, how am I not? It's because we have an NFL defense. We have 11 guys that will play in the league at some point. So
yep.
No,
that's part of it.
Yeah. We have 11 guys on the field at a time.
Yeah.
I want to clarify who will play in the league. We have way more than 11 guys on our defense who will play in the league.
Right.
Way
Sorry. I meant like it's an NFL defense at one time.
At one time. Yes,
sure.
Correct.
Yes. Absolutely. I don't want those angry emails, people. That's what I meant. That's what
also, don't try to figure out where she lives.
Exactly. So my don't sleep on, I was like I think I'm gonna be way more random with it because this is just something that like I'm a little bit piggybacking off of you. I think that Kyrus specifically, he's had some little bit of some college kid moments thinking wise, but he's been good. And I think on return, he's going to break one loose and go all the way. And it's going to be at a time when like Missouri was barely breathing. And it's just going to be kind of mean. Like Mark Richt's going to get on the halftime and be like, hey guys, I've always taught you guys to be good people. So maybe we should chill out and not. No, this isn't hating on him. I'm saying he's a good person and we're going to be massacring people.
That's what I'm imitating Mark Richt, telling the team to please stop. Please be kind.
Also, I would say I would not look for a lot of interceptions in this game because the true freshman who will be starting at quarterback has not attempted a pass yet against any defense. And this one might be a tough one to start. So, good old Eli's plan for the game was to establish the run. So I said, I'm going to say, don't sleep on them not being able to do that. But I do think because of that, we're going to see some real goofy stuff, like you were saying. Some real goofy stuff, and I think there's going to be some just really funny things that occur after they cannot establish any sort of offense at all. So
just to be clear, thank you for going in a different direction because literally not one person on this earth is sleeping on Missouri not being able to establish the run. Everyone is aware of that.
See, that was a very hipster moment. That was a very hipster moment. I decided to go reverse and tell everyone everything.
Look at you're so ironic. You're okay. All right. I feel like I need to set this up because it's going to get people feeling some things. Okay?
Oh, good. Oh, thank you so much.
That's always the way to start a conversation.
I'm not suggesting this is a high probability. I'm not even suggesting that I'm not looking for this. I'm saying don't sleep on because how many more weeks do we have until the SEC championship game? Not a lot.
To this? Yeah.
Okay. So okay. How long does it take to come back from an ACL tear?
Oh, look at you.
A bit of time?
A bit of time. We are approaching the time in which Jorge Pickens needs to get game action before he sees the field in the SEC championship or playoff run. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not even tinfoiling hat this. I'm just saying don't sleep on the next coming weeks a dressed out Jorge Pickens. And this we're in the zone where it's a possibility, not a probability, a possibility.
Listen, I mean, you gave me a little bit of a hard time for the one that I just did. So I am going to give you a little bit of a hard time for the fact that you just stated it could be within the realm of something that could possibly happen. that within the next 4 games, one of the players we have may play a snap. But other than
First of all, Sarah, hold on.
Don't cash your checks, folks.
I didn't give you a hard time. He gave you a hard time. I didn't give you. Don't bring that heat towards me. I'm trying to tone down people because they're going to get livid at me for even suggesting Jorge comes back.
That's a good point.
I was trying, but you're right. That was the weakest don't sleep on I've ever given in my entire life. You are 100% correct on that, Sarah. 100%.
But I would love to see George Pickens in this game. So
I would love
agree with you.
I would love him dressed out.
Can I ask a question? That's not a don't sleep on or an excited or nervous about, but this is a genuine question I have. I guess it would apply to this game or any game moving forward. I don't think a third quarterback is going to play in this game. Agree or disagree? I don't think a third quarterback will play because I think JT's been out for so long that they'll want him to have as many reps as he can get. And so
yes, sir.
There's a chance a third quarterback could come in for if there's a minute and a half left in the game and we get the ball and Missouri has no timeouts.
So the only thing is I agree with you. I think probably not. The only caveat I would make to that is if they're more concerned about JT's health than we realize. They may think literally we just need to take time off. And if they're more concerned about JT's health than we realize, not saying that's true. Again, I'm pulling exactly what just occurred. Please do not at me. I have no sort of information on that. But if they are, I could see them maybe saying, well, why put, like I said, if Stetson's in for the last 10 for literally no reason and something happens, whatever, then we would be down to, or something happens to JT, that's the only thing where I could see that happening. But I agree with you. I think if health-wise he's good, the whole point is that we want real game reps. So I think they'd give it to him.
So here's my question, though. If a third quarterback plays, is it Carson Beck?
Yeah, I think
so. Or is it? I just don't want it to be. I want that to not be true.
Oh, you're trying to start a 3-way quarterback controversy?
No, believe me, that's not.
Because I can't. I don't have this.
Not at all. I am trying to start a second quarterback controversy between the third and fourth string. So there's a difference between that.
There's no controversy. Carson Beck is going to be the starting quarterback at Tulane University next year.
Well, the controversy is not about Carson Beck. It's what happens when JT stays next year. But anyway, we'll just put that scene right there.
Well, I'm just saying if Brock Vandelay of Vandelay Industries,
correct,
and you want to be my latex salesman,
you want to be my say Vandelay. Sarah,
by the way, this is why she's on the pod. Just so everybody understands, this is why.
In fact, I know you guys had no idea about this about me. Huge Seinfeld fan. I used to have Vandelay Industries bumper sticker, and underneath it said latex and latex related products on my car in high school. So yes, I was a loser.
Fantastic.
I was a loser, but I did have that.
Fantastic. No, that's the absolute best kind of loser. Well, Brock Vandelay of Vandelay Industries, he imports wins as he exports touchdown passes, and so I really want him to get some reps this season. I want to see him in action. I hope that secretly in the shadows, he's passed Carson Beck on the depth chart. I'm not saying that's happened, but it would be fun for me if it had happened, and maybe Charleston Southern or at some point, Charleston Southern, Georgia Tech, or one of the other no-name teams on the schedule, maybe he gets some run. That would be fantastic.
By the way, really quick, you know what my favorite thing, since I didn't grow up in Georgia, my favorite thing watching the hate on Georgia Tech is they are literally, I'm sorry, excuse me, where's Athens and Atlanta? Are they, they're not, right, they're not the same city. Where's Blooper going to be this weekend?
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be watching a football game in the state in which his team plays.
It's my favorite thing that
his option.
Georgia Tech can't even get any love from they're like, stay out of this, Georgia Tech.
For culture.
Like, who are we kidding, guys? Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
You know.
Sarah, thanks for being on here again at Sarah G 1561. Go follow her, and all of the things that she is doing on the Twitter machines. That's where you can get links to all the articles she's writing and all of the other stuff that she is into, at least the stuff she's going to post online that she wants you to know about. That's where you can find it. So at Sarah G 1561.
That was a weird. That was real close to just.
It got to a point where I was like, well, that's probably more than
We knew
it's
where you were
true.
going,
So
but you know what?
we'll
Anyway,
just-
McDonald's is great. So you guys are
Anyway, as I was saying about McDonald's, all right, we'll be back. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game this weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Sarah will never come on the podcast again. So this is us saying farewell to her, and we will see you guys on Monday.
See ya.